Welcome back to Eldritch Horror Playthrough. This is the start of turn 2. One thing I forgot to mention in the last turn was the leader of the expedition. This can change at the end of a round, but I'm going to leave the lead player as Charlie. And so I'll just get right into the two actions for turn 2. So the first up is Charlie, and I'm going to have him get a boat pass. A boat ticket as his first action, so he's getting a boat ticket. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want him to get over to the Tokyo gate after this turn, possibly able to close the gate and solve the first mystery of Azathoth in a couple of turns. And then for his second action, I'm just going to have him move here, and there was a clue hiding on space number 1, which you maybe didn't see. One water space up here to the clue token. All right, that was the two actions for Charlie, and now up to Akachi. Her first action is I'm actually going to have her get a rail pass. So she's going to get a rail ticket, and we're going to add that to her card, and that's going to allow her to move a little more quickly next turn. And the second thing she's going to do is, since there's an expedition right here at the pyramids, no gates on the board at the moment, she's going to go over to the expedition at the pyramids and possibly, she'll have an encounter there, an expedition encounter, and possibly get an artifact out of it. So let's go right into the encounter phase. All right, so here we are in the encounter phase. First up again is Charlie, and he is sitting at the clue token. So this is the deck of cards specific to Azathoth, and it has a little magnifying glass picture on it here. So this is the clue token. He is in a city space. So we look at the clue card at the top here where it says city, and this is his encounter. A team of geologists have disappeared after studying a chunk of rock that was retrieved from a nearby crater. You visit their lab and feel waves of strange energy emanating from the stone, eroding your body from the inside. Test strength. Wow, this isn't too good. He only has a strength of 2, so he needs a success on a 5 or 6. Let's see what happens. And that would be not a success. So let's have a look at the card, and he has no reroll abilities or anything. So if you pass, blah, blah, blah. If you fail, you are forced to leave the area. Gain an internal injury condition. So you're forced to leave the area. I don't believe you physically move to another space. It just means you're out of the area where they were busy looking at the crater. So isn't that wonderful? Poor Charlie gets an internal condition. So I'm just going to go through the top of the deck here, and I'm looking for internal injury. And I need to find one here. I'm sure there's one in here. There's 3 of each. And there's the first internal injury card. So we'll just have a look at that. So basically he strained himself trying to help the geologists. And you can see here now on the bottom is that icon for a reckoning. So if the reckoning comes up on the Mythos card, we'll have to deal with his internal injury, and let's hope he doesn't suffer for it. All right, that was the encounter. He didn't get the clue. He got an internal injury instead, so things going downhill. Let's see if Akachi has better luck at the pyramids. So we draw the expedition card for the pyramids, and we'll see what happens with her. It says you reach for the ancient relic when a small white car jumps in front of you. A small white cat. I should be wearing my glasses. A small white car. Okay, that would be funny. So a small white cat jumps in front of you. To your horror, the cat transforms into a demonic feline creature and attacks. Well, that's lovely. Akachi, not exactly really strong either. She only has a strength of 2. So let's see if she can fend off this feral feral cat. And that would be no. So things going even more downhill. All right, so the fail condition down here. The creature leaves you wounded, badly wounded. Gain a leg injury condition. You cry out for help, then test influence. Okay, so, wow, we've got an internal injury for Charlie, and now we're going to have a leg injury for Akachi. Now we had a good first turn, and now you can see how things can go downhill quickly. So here's our leg injury card, and again it has a reckoning symbol on it, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to give the leg injury to Akachi, and she has to make a influence test. Her influence is only 2, so that's not great either. Let's see if she can pass that. And of course not. She fails. So probably more horrible things happening for her. All right. It says if you pass, blah, blah, blah. If you fail, lose 2 health, and you have to walk without receiving medical attention. So basically, she just loses 2 health, does not succeed in the expedition, and the next expedition card, so basically that expedition went horribly wrong for her. She just ended up getting a leg injury, and the next expedition card looks like it is going to be up in Tunguska. So I'm going to take the token and put it up at Tunguska. So that's the next expedition. So a horrible round of encounters for both Charlie and Akachi. So let's go on to the Mythos phase, which I'm sure will be even more pleasant. All right, so let's have a look at... Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. There's no reckoning symbol up here, so the internal injury and leg injury, we may be able to deal with that in the next turn. But anyway, the first symbol we have, of course, is the omen track symbol. So we must move the omen 1 space down to the next symbol, which is the little red fiery circle. And we have no gates on the board that have the fiery circle. We just have one here in Tokyo that has the blue constellation symbol. Next up, we have a monster surge. Now, referring to our little player aid card here, with 2 players, if we have a monster surge, we have 1 of them. So what do? A monster surge is you are supposed to put a monster on a gate that has the symbol of the current omen track. Unfortunately, we do not have any gates with that omen track on it, so instead, for a monster surge, we actually spawn another gate. So we will do that. And the gate spawns in Arkham. Okay, I don't know if this thing is... So we're going to put the gate in Arkham, and no self-respecting gate would ever appear without being accompanied by a monster. So we are going to have a Migo is going to be at that gate. And you see here it does have the reckoning symbol. So there will be something going on. I'm not going to read the back right now. If there is a reckoning. All right. Not too horrible yet. And the other part of the card here now is this is a spawning a clue. So again, checking our little reference card, we see that with 2 players, if you spawn a clue, we will spawn 1 of them. So we just randomly grab a clue out of here. Now these clue tokens on the back, they have specific numbers and locations. So this clue is going to spawn at location number 18. And location 18, they give you a little map here and it kind of shows you. So location 18 is out here in a C space. So each clue on the board has a specific location. So that's kind of a cool mechanic of the game. All right. Flavor text to see if I can read it properly this time or find some more white cars or cats or something. It says, in one night, the whole monstrous undertaking has disappeared. Every occult sigil has been sanded from the wall and painted over. Every name on your list has moved to a new city without notice. You would like to believe that you managed to drive them out, but you fear that it signifies something worse. The dark goal they've been pursuing is now accomplished. Doesn't sound good. That which consumes. Event. Investigators, as a group, choose 1 gate on the game board and discard it. If the discarded gate does not correspond to the current omen, advance doom by 1. Well, that didn't sound that bad, actually. So let me just look at that again. It says, if the discarded gate does not correspond to the current omen, advance the doom by 1. Well, luckily for us, we just spawned a gate up here in Arkham, which does correspond to the current doom. So we will just discard that gate, leaving the Migo out flapping in the wind all by himself. Okay, that wasn't the greatest. We had Charlie get a internal injury, trying to help some geologists. He probably should have just stayed in his office and done influential things. And Akachi out there in the pyramids ending up getting a leg injury, trying to retrieve an artifact, battling cars and cats. But anyhow, that's the end of turn 2. Join me next time for turn 3 when hopefully a little bit better things happen. And of course, keeping in mind our first mystery is this one here. And we basically need to spend a clue token on closing a gate that has an omen symbol that matches the omen track. So, keeping that in mind, we will see what happens next turn. So thanks for watching, and join me next time for turn 3.